All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you. We apologize for the delay in getting started, and we appreciate your flexibility. We had some technical issues. Welcome on this snowy, cold morning. We're so glad that you're with us today. This is our first, hopefully, of many CED open house. And with the virtual opportunity, we have people visiting from all over the state and perhaps even from out of state that have decided to join us. So glad that you're here. Just a couple of housekeeping things. My name is Lori Higginbotham and I am your host. I'll be behind the scenes for most of the presentation today. If you would please turn off your video and mute your mic, that will allow us to more seamlessly provide you with our open house presentation. When we do go into breakout rooms later, you may at that time open your video to join the conversations. The open house is being presented to you in 3 different phases. We're here in the main room. We're going to introduce here in a moment our Center for Excellence in Disabilities Director, Dr. Leslie Cottre, and then she's going to lead us through some speed rounds of some scenarios of services that we could provide. Then we're going to go into breakout rooms where we'll be in smaller groups. The breakout rooms will be 15 minutes long and they'll be presented in 3 different times. So you'll have a 15-minute block where you'll get to meet the clinics, and then you'll have a 15-minute block where you'll get to meet a few of our other programs. And then you'll have another 15-minute block where you'll meet the rest of our programs. So please stay for all 3 of those 15-minute segments. At the very end, we're going to call everybody back to the main room where we're going to give our final words. We have a drawing, so please stay on for that final room where we have door prizes to give out, and we're going to do those live right while you're still in the room with us. And then at the very end, we will provide you with a survey link. We ask you to take time to complete. It does help us improve and hopefully provide open house experiences in the future. So at this time, I'd like to introduce to you our CED director, Dr. Leslie Cottre. She has been the director of our center since 2015. She has a doctorate's degree in developmental psychology and currently also is a acting professor at the Department of Pediatrics here at West Virginia University School of Medicine. So Dr. Leslie Cottre, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lori. I appreciate it. And I do want to thank Lori and several others on this call for organizing this open house. This is the first we've ever had, and we're 40 years old as a center. And so I think it's, even though COVID made it virtual for us, it's a really nice way to touch base with one another during this time. So thanks, Lori and everyone. So as Lori mentioned, just to get us started, I'm not going to tell you too much about the center other than some essentials that might give you an idea of who we are. So we are one site, one center of a 62 national network. Every state in the United States has at least one. Sometimes states have 3 or more, depending on the size of the state. West Virginia has 1, and we serve the whole state in many different ways. We have 4 types or areas of service. It's direct service, of course, and that includes technical assistance, information and referral. But we also have training, research, and then information dissemination. And that national network comes in handy because as we learn more about a variety of disabilities and service utilizations, we share that with everyone in the state. Definitely our affiliates and whoever we can find to share it with. So in West Virginia, like I said, we're 40 years old. We take a lifespan approach. Some centers in other states are pediatric focused, some are geriatric. We have all age groups. And in terms of the types of disabilities, we are broad in that area as well. So we have acute and chronic services that touch on a variety. And you're going to see hopefully some of that breadth in the open house today. Our areas of emphasis change. We have 5-year cycles of funding. And so our areas of emphasis right now are access to healthcare, health and wellness. Then we have transitions of a wide variety. And I'm blanking on the other one. I'll mention that in the chat earlier.
Employment.
Thank you, Jen. Of course, employment. Okay. So we're going to talk, some of our scenarios focus on at least one of those areas and to bring that out a little bit. And then most importantly, you see our programming and our initiatives, and that includes more than 8 programs that are here with you today, more than 4 clinics, and then several initiatives that are either grant funded and focused on a particular topic, or have a different focus that's not as yet a program at the center. So everyone has joined us today. And again, these scenarios were built by the team to bring out some of the strengths and how you might, when you might think of certain programs for a particular scenario. So with that, Laura, you want me to go straight into the scenarios?
Yep, it's all yours. I put them in the chat for you so that you have them easily accessible.
Thank you very much. Okay, so our first scenario, and as Lori mentioned, it's going to be a speed round. So we're going to go from program to program, and they're going to give us an idea of how they would, what they would do in this scenario. And feel free to ask. We're going to have a questions and answers ability for you to interact in the breakouts. But so the first one we're going to really touch on includes an 18-year-old single mom of a 3-year-old. The mother's aging out of foster care, and who had substance abuse issues and a history of domestic violence. The 3-year-old is exhibiting developmental delays, including speech. So we have several programs that would actually provide services for this scenario. We're going to start with the IMPACT program.
Leslie, I believe she may be
Disparities
frozen. Oh, sorry.
that caregivers and babies with NAS or substance exposure in utero may have. Our services could offer a website with an online learning portal, 3 demonstration sites across 9 West Virginia counties with patient navigation of social services. And these social services include transportation, housing, utilities, food insecurity, interpersonal violence, treatment, home visiting, and education and employment connections, and also coordination for follow-ups pertaining to child development. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Next, we're going to go to traumatic brain injury program.
Hi, everyone. I'm Miranda Talkington, and I'm the program manager with the TBI program. We also have our outreach coordinator, April Fincham, and I think I saw one of our social workers, Michelle Earle, on here. And so the TBI program provides resource facilitation to individuals that meet 2 criteria. You're a citizen of West Virginia and you have a medical diagnosis of a TBI. We know in cases of domestic violence, that medical diagnosis might not always be there. So we do have screenings and assistance to help you achieve and get that medical diagnosis. But what our resource facilitation would provide would be having that individual work with a social worker to get connected to community supports and services. We'll also pay for neuropsychological evaluations. We have a program called Funds for You, which is a payer of last resort that connects individuals with TBI and spinal cord injuries to quality of life enhancing items. We pay for prescriptions, we pay for tires. And so our social work team would help you get connected to those funds through that right systematic approach. And then we also have support groups, offer training and technical assistance. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Appreciate it, Miranda. Next, we want to emphasize Modify program. Debbie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Debbie Haff, and I'm the Modify Program Manager. And if you wonder what Modify stands for, it's mentoring and oversight for youth developing independence with foster youth. What we do with this particular young lady, she could be referred to our program, and since she aged out of foster care, we would meet with her, we would do an intake, determine if she would be interested in enrolling in any type of post-secondary education, and that's the formal word we have to use, which simply means some type of college or trade, excuse me, trade school. We would work with her to determine if she did want to go to school. She would be eligible for 2 different types of programming through Modify. One would be the educational training voucher. The second would be an independent living subsidy. Our goal is to enable youth to sort of help plan for their future, their education, and try to be supportive and encouraging to them as they're transitioning from the foster care system into independent living.
Thank you, Debbie. Next, let's go to WIPA. Jen, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer Tenney, and I am the program manager for the Work Incentives Planning and Assistance Project. With this young lady, we would help her, if she was receiving Social Security benefits, understand how those benefits will be affected if she chooses to go to work or go into an education program. We also help with transitions at age 18 from the childhood disability system to the adult disability system in the Social Security world. So we are all about Social Security benefits and assisting with helping people understand how cash and federal medical benefits are affected when people go to work.
Thank you, Jennifer. Positive behavior support, PBS.
Hi, I'm Anastasia Riley. I'm the program manager for the Positive Behavior Support Program here at the CED. We have several of the behavior specialists also on the open house. So we can offer a few different services for this young mother and her child. We can offer PBS brainstorming, which is a 1-hour telehealth session with several behavior specialists, just to come up with some PBS type strategies for her parenting. We can also offer person-centered planning for the mother or as a family unit. And those are fun, interactive process that get at what a person's dreams are and how to create a plan of action to get there. And if she's at risk of out-of-home placement, and since she is under 21 years old, if she is at risk of out-of-home placement, we can offer a functional behavior assessment and a positive behavior support plan under our PBS intensive service. We can also offer a wide variety of trainings. There is an online anytime training PBS for parents available. And we periodically offer other live trainings such as de-escalation techniques for first responders, making action plans, trauma-informed positive behavior support, and Trauma 101. So yeah, we can offer a wide variety of resources too.
Excellent. Thanks, Anastasia. And then last but not least, in terms of programs, I'm going to turn it over for Paths for Parents to Sherry, I believe.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. I'm Sherry Gothard-Barron. I am a parent network specialist for the Paths for Parents and the Family to Family programs. For this young lady, what we can offer is to recommend her going to local or regional substance abuse programs and support groups, direct to therapy for domestic violence survival, and we can guide the mom into learning how to advocate for herself and her child. For the child, we would ask her if the child is in a Head Start or early learning program or special needs pre-K. Recommend to the mom contact the local school district for an evaluation for special education services, get the child an IEP if they qualify, and possible therapy services from the school. Guide the mom through special education process to get the child services that are needed, and work with her to connect with the appropriate CED services and local community resources.
Thank you, Sherry. I do want to highlight something, pause just for a second, because many of the services that you're hearing and how this, for this particular scenario, are just like the center, the only program for the state. And I want to highlight the family to family, which works closely with Paths for Parents. And another one that I'll turn it over to Jennifer is Assistive Technology. This is the Assistive Technology Support Center for West Virginia. So Jennifer, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jennifer, and I am one of the AT specialists here at WIVATS. Doug Compston is also one of the other AT specialists, and I think he's also participating in the open house today. We provide AT awareness and resources throughout the state, and we are free and available to all ages and abilities. In this situation, I would discuss with the mom what delays there are and how assistive technology might be helpful in providing some supports that are going to be needed to help bridge the gaps that they're experiencing with the child. We have a wide variety of tools available in our loan library that can be borrowed. For example, we may want to look at some of the communication devices and supports that we have available to see if that could assist the child if they have a limited vocabulary or they're nonverbal and unable to express their needs with that delay area, especially if they're having some meltdowns from unknown reasons. It could be that they are just not able to communicate. So that might be an area we might focus on, as well as some other areas with those delays.
Thank you, Jennifer. So with that, let's switch gears one more time and really now get the perspective from our clinic. So first clinic, feeding and swallowing. Cassie, I'll turn it to you. What would you do in this situation?
Thank you, Leslie. I'm Cassie Miller. I am the coordinator for feeding clinic here at the CED. We also have lots of services to offer to this family. So we have an interdisciplinary clinic that looks at feeding and swallowing skills, and we assess behavior. We have developmental psychology. We look at nutrition from a dietitian, motor skills from occupational therapy, and then social support as well from social work. So we all come together and we do a direct service assessment for this kiddo, and it can be in person or telehealth, whatever meets their needs. And then we also provide follow-ups for that family. So depending on what the needs for that child are, we can recommend for outside services. We can kind of hook them up to different programs within the center, or just really do true clinical intervention to help advance his feeding and swallowing skills, nutrition, behavior surrounding mealtimes.
Excellent, thank you. Grace, I'm going to turn it over to you for music therapy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Grace Lauzon. I'm a board certified music therapist, and I operate the music therapy clinic at the CED. I would say first and foremost that for anyone hoping to receive music therapy services, we do have a referral and assessment system in order to determine if music therapy intervention would be appropriate for someone. I will say that for music therapy, it can be effective for anyone at any age. So it could potentially be beneficial for the mom if she does have any kind of traumatic brain injury that could exacerbate some of her substance abuse issues and maybe her social emotional needs. It could also be potentially beneficial for her child who's experiencing those delays in speech. So depending on who would be interested in music therapy, I would do a referral and assessment. So all of the needs that music therapy can meet could potentially be physical, speech and communication, cognition, social, behavioral, even spiritual. So those are some of the things that music therapy clinic could provide for either of these two individuals. And in working with other programs as well. I love collaborating with other therapists and making sure that the treatment is consistent with whatever they need.
Thank you. That's wonderful. I appreciate that. And then last one for this scenario is the Next Steps Clinic. Diane?
Hi, I'm Diane Williams. I'm the training coordinator for our Next Steps Clinic, and it's part of our LEND grant, which is Leadership Education in Neurodevelopmental and Related Disabilities. The main purpose of this interdisciplinary clinic is to help our clients who are having trouble with a transition. And this is for children birth to age 18. So maybe it's somebody who's having trouble transitioning out of birth to 3 into the school system. But by and large, the biggest group we see are students who are transitioning out of high school into the adult service world. So we have a team of interdisciplinary providers, and along with our graduate students, we come up with a life plan report for the family that they can carry forth in their home community.
Thank you, Diane. And so that wraps up for our first scenario, but just some take-home points. I'm really proud of this group, but I'm biased. You know, what you heard are both clinical and community services that are available to this family, services that are available for baby, mom, and even family were described. And then the approaches were a wide variety. So increased access to care of a variety and education and employment. For mom, increased health opportunities with substance abuse support if needed, variety of that. Parental support, care also goes into that. Increased employment, again, looking toward the future, helping to smooth that transition in multiple ways. And then some daily living assistance and navigation. You know, we always hear about transportation, utilities, food insecurity. Those things pop up, and all of these other things might go to the wayside. Our teams also include that and are often working with clients and families on those issues as well. So just wanted to highlight, thank you all for offering more information. Let's go to scenario 2, which changes things up a little bit. So let's say we hear a report. My child has autism, challenging behaviors, and sensory concerns, and is on a wait list for the Neurodevelopment Center, which is one of the centers here through WVU Children's. I have IDD waiver, but I have been having difficulty finding respite care. All right, so we received that report. Let's talk about how we would approach this. I'm going to start with Jennifer from Assistive Technology.
In this case, we would want to talk to the family and just learn more about the situation, what issues they're experiencing. Based on that, then we could possibly provide them with some suggestions of some tools that might be beneficial in helping them possibly reduce some of the behaviors and sensory concerns while they're waiting for the other services to kick in. Again, many of these tools could be available for them to try from our loan library, so it'd be a free thing for them just to see if it would work and help. If it didn't help, they can maybe try something else and come back to us and say, what next type options. For example, we have an assortment of tools that can aid with sensory regulation, such as lap pads with weights, compression vests, tools that can provide vibration if that's something that is being sought out by the child, and also just some fidget seats that can maybe help them to sit and focus and maybe be able to do some other things if they want to be constantly moving around.
Great, thank you, Jennifer. PBS. Anastasia, what would you do?
Sure, we could offer a few different client services. We can do the PBS brainstorming or the person-centered planning. We can also assist with their IDD waiver behavior specialist in doing a technical assistance call and mentoring them to help build their skills with this individual, not only with this individual, but the other people that they serve, sort of a one-on-one training. And so that, in addition to those PBS brainstorming or person-centered planning individual services.
Great, thank you. Michelle, I'm going to go to you for specialized family care. Do you care to tell us a little bit more?
Sure. Hi, I'm Michelle Melton. I'm the program manager with Specialized Family Care. We actually operate a foster care program for individuals with developmental and intellectual disabilities, and we serve both children and adults. Most of our individuals are through IDD waiver or personal care. So the fact that this child has IDD waiver already, we could work with the family on assessing whether or not we have an existing respite provider in their area. And if not, then we would work with them on trying to locate a respite provider for them so that they could maybe have a weekend to have some time away from all the concerns that are involved in raising their child.
Thank you, Michelle. Let's go back to Sherry with Pads for Parents.
Thank you.
What we can offer for this parent is triple P positive parenting classes to address the challenging behaviors. And if those behaviors or more interventions are needed, we would definitely refer to additional CED services, provide guidance to advocate with IDD waiver to get listing of respite providers in our area, or see if they can work with a family member to provide respite. Encourage the parent to reach out to local resources for possible camps and other services. Talk to the parent about the sensory issues and home interventions that may be available to help with those sensory issues. And then recommend review of available resources in the Disability Resource Library and encourage attendance to our Circle of Family support groups.
Thank you, Sherry. Let's go to clinics now with music. Grace.
Hello again. So I would say because music therapy interventions and musical activities can be multi-sensory, there would be a few things to consider within the interventions that we use. Does the child like to move to music? Do they like more receptive experiences? Do they have any auditory sensitivity? So these are all things that I would consider, or whether it's playing instruments or involving kinesthetic types of things. The other thing that we could work to involve is assistive technology in sessions to maybe shape behavior for acquiring a new skill, and also using music that is motivating for change. So client preferred music, that would be the most motivating to help them acquire different behavior type skills. And again, I would be working closely with other therapists and with the family to make sure that everything is consistent based on the goals for this child, because everybody's goals are different, and everybody's relationship with music is different. So I think we could offer a very personalized experience for this child based on the age and based on the needs and their abilities too.
Thank you, Grace. And then Stephanie from Bliss. We haven't heard from Bliss. Tell us a little bit about that.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie Jones. I'm the Program Coordinator for Behavior and Learning Intervention Services, or BLISS for short. I'm a board certified behavior analyst, and I provide training and direct services based on the science of applied behavior analysis. So basically what that means is that I work directly with families to try to increase adaptive skills for kiddos, such as communication, and decrease challenging behavior, which is actually my specialty area within the field. For this family, depending on the level of need, the parents could attend some of my group training sessions, such as ABA Bootcamp, or receive individual telehealth consultation, in which I problem solve with the families, try to conduct remote functional behavior assessments, and implement behavior intervention plans based on the family's needs.
Excellent. Thank you, Stephanie. All right, so that's finishes us for scenario 2, and a couple of things, take-home messages wanted to share. Waitlist does not equal lack of services. In many cases, particularly for these families, that message might either be perceived or be thought to be true, that you're on the wait list and in the meantime, there's nothing available for you. So you just heard some options that definitely are available to the families, even though they might be on wait lists elsewhere. Respite, I see Steve Wiseman from DD Council on this, and with their state survey, respite was a continued theme of needs for families. So while formal channels are being sought, there are opportunities and help to try to find respite, even if it's in short bursts. And then last, I want to really latch on to what Grace had mentioned. The fact that we have so many people on here does not mean that a particular family has to work separately with so many people. They do, as Grace said, everyone works together to cut down on duplication for the family and really enhance and ask about, we see it with feeding and swallowing, we see it in numbers. So ask about that in your breakout session, a little bit more about that. All right, we're close on time. I don't want to take away from those breakout sessions. We do have one short scenario, so let's get to that. I'm a service coordinator working at a behavioral health center. I work with an individual who's an adult and lives with his natural family, parents. His parents are elderly and in poor health and are now worried about what is going to happen to him after they have passed. What options are available to him and his family in preparation of long-term needs? To get us started with this one, I'm going to turn it back to Michelle for SFC.
Sorry, I was reading in the chat. Okay, this is one where we can definitely help with. What we like to do is provide information to families first so that they're making a choice that they feel is best for them and their family member. We do have a booklet we can send out called Future Plan, which explains a lot of the decisions that have to be made if you're transitioning an individual who is now an adult child of someone who obviously they're not a child anymore, but I mean, you know, parents are always going to be concerned. And so we talk with them about all the things that need to take place as they're transitioning that individual into another residential setting. SFC is one of those settings that can provide that service. We are foster care. We're unique in the fact that we only serve individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, but the other unique factor is that we serve both children and adults. In fact, we have people in our homes that were placed there as children and have now lived there 36, 37 years, and of course are now adults. So they don't ever have to leave. That becomes their new family. They can still maintain contact with their existing natural family. They can visit, they can go home for holidays if they want to. It provides another opportunity for families to maintain that contact with their family member, but they don't have to do the day-to-day care.
Great, thank you, Michelle. WIPA, Jen, I'll come back up to you. I think you're on mute, sorry.
Glad you said that. One of the things that we would do in this situation is talk to the parents about opening a West Virginia ABLE account for their adult child. If you don't know about West Virginia ABLE, it is an account that you can open that protects Medicaid services and does not count towards the $2,000 a month asset limit for SSI and Medicaid services. So you can put up to $15,000 a year into that account as protected monies. So if they were worried about providing for his future care or the adult child's future care, then they can definitely open a West Virginia ABLE account and get that established so that the monies can be used for any qualified disability expense.
Excellent, thank you. And then last, to finish this out, Jennifer, I'm coming back to you for assistive technology.
Okay, we would want to talk to the individual and his parents and just find out more about what AT he might already be using in the home and what support level he's actually getting in home and what all they're helping him to do and what may need to become more independent, possibly with the use of assistive tools that are out there, especially if he gets help with dressing. He may be able to do some of that on his own, but they've just always done the dressing. We may want to discuss tools that might be available to help in that area. It's important to be able to prepare him to overcome some of the barriers that might exist when his parents are no longer there, because it'll be easier while they're there for him to be able to learn that information and have it become part of his routine than having everything change with his world all at once and have to be learning how to become more independent in some of these tasks. And really with our services, we are looking at each individual situation when discussing and suggesting the tools just to make sure it's the best tools available for their needs and what will work best to help them.
Excellent, thank you. So appreciate everyone's input. Lori, with that, we're a little over. I'm going to turn it over to you for breakouts.
Yep, very good. So
because of a lot of bad things happening in our state. And I just wondered how that's impacted specialized family care in terms of the availability of people to serve as either a family or respite. And that came up earlier,
Right.
talking about that.
It's impacted us a lot. I mean, it's really impacted all of the foster care.
okay. I can't see. I lost everybody. Are people starting to come back? Yes.
Yes, there's already a bunch of people starting to come back in.
Okay, we're going to give another minute or so to get everybody back into the room. All right, welcome back. And at this time, I'd like to go ahead and allow our director, Leslie, to give some final thoughts and final words. Stay on after she's finished because we are going to be doing a random, we're going to use the registration list and randomly select the numbers from the list for the door prizes. We have 8 prizes to give out. So I encourage you after Leslie speaks to stay on and see if you are one of the recipients to get a door prize. So
Okay.
Leslie.
Okay, short and sweet. This is worse than speaking between right before lunch. So real quick, it was great to see familiar faces. It was equally wonderful to see new faces. Hopefully, you know, some of our goals in this is if you have common questions like what is the CED, didn't know it existed, what were the programs, tell me a little bit more about them, that you at least got a good start at that. Got to see people's faces who represent these programs, which for me, I really like that to see and then to know that I could reach out to them and ask any questions. And that's definitely a take-home point we want you to have. So thank you. And again, thanks to Lori and her team who organized this, and I'll be quiet now on to the good stuff.
Okay. All right. So I am going to ask staff if you would like to debrief with us at the end of this and give some feedback on your experience as a staff member today. Please stay on after the guests have all left. All right, Courtney, are you ready with our registration list?
I am ready.
Okay, I will share my screen so that you guys know I'm being honest with the randomizer. Hold on just a moment. And get that. Sorry, lost the randomizer. It's here. I got it. We're back. Okay, sharing screen now. All right. Courtney, can you just confirm that you can see the 4 jars with numbers in them?
I can.
Okay, excellent. All right. So we are going to set the numbers here. I think there were 140 on the list. Is that correct?
143.
143 total registrants. All right. So here we go. First number, 40. Who's number 40 on the list?
Bev Nichols.
Bev Nichols, are you present? Not present?
I saw her on there earlier through the breakout rooms.
Okay, we will keep her then as a guest. And
I was trying to unmute. I didn't hear. Yes, I'm present.
Super. Well, congratulations. You're our first prize winner. I'll be getting in touch with you through email so that we can figure out the best way to get it to you. All right.
Well, thank you very much. The information was great.
Oh, thank you. Prize number 2 goes to number 7 on the registration list.
Number 7 is Mindy Umstott. I will put it in the chat. I apologize for that.
Mindy, are you on? All right, we will reserve her prize. I'll get in touch with her, just confirming that she had attended. Let's go to prize number 3. Was that the same one?
Yep.
Again. 59.
Laura Goodrich.
Laura, are you present? All right. We're going to select another number. 86.
Adrella Cottrell.
Adrilla, are you on?
Ardella.
Yes,
Adela.
yes, I am.
Congratulations. I will be getting in touch with you to send you your prize and the best way you'd like to have it delivered.
Hey, and this is Mindy Umstad. I can't figure out how to get my chat open, but I'm here.
Oh, super, Mindy. I'm so glad that you spoke up. Congratulations. I'll be getting in touch with you through email.
Thank you.
2 more prizes left to give. Here we go. 129.
Brad Anderson.
Brad, are you on the line? Are you in the room? Going once, going twice, not in the room. Let's use another number, Courtney. 54.
Sadie Parsons.
Sadie, are you in the room?
She was earlier, Lori.
Okay, super. Let's keep her and I will get in touch with her for her prize. We have one last prize left. Staff, let me just remind you, if you'd like to process the experience with us as a team, please stay on. All right, guests, here's our last door. Goes to number 81 on the registration list. Who is that?
Jana Gordon.
Jana, are you on the line? Going once? Any presenter recall having that participant in their room today? All right, Courtney, we're going to choose another. 53.
Oh, I hope I don't mess up this last name. Betty DeFelice. I will put it in the chat.
Betty, are you in the room?
Betty,
yes, I am.
Yay, congratulations, Betty. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
I'll be emailing you to figure out the best way to get you this door prize.
Thank you.
All right. Guests, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Staff, please stay on if you'd like to process the experience and how we can improve on it. Guests, I will be sending you a email with the survey link. Please give us some good feedback so that we can improve on this experience. Thank you again, everybody. Bye-bye.